My vengeance ends now.
Alright, Kratos back with a new series that I decided to do. I've been getting back into the Paladins, especially since I've heard that they're getting rid of their card unbound system, which I wasn't a big fan of. And I actually bought the Founders Pack when this game came out because I was such a big Smite fan and I like Tyra. So I just kind of recently got to the level cap where you can play in the ranked. So I thought, hey, let's go through my qualifying matches and I'll just record them all and see how it goes. My first match actually ended up being pretty good, so hopefully you guys can see a good Paladins match for those who haven't really seen Paladins before. It is a hero shooter, kind of like Overwatch. It came out right about the same time. In fact, there was a lot of YouTube videos on Overwatch versus Paladins, and then Paladins is also getting a lot of news because they're going to start their battlegrounds. They started it, and they've taken it back, and now they're redoing it all and then putting it back out in separate clients. So I'm really interested to see how that works out. But for this match, they needed a front line, so I went ahead and picked Makoa. He's the turtle. He's got a pretty cool little kit. I really like it. He's a frontline tank champion, and he's got a shield. He's got kind of a dash that sort of knocks up and knocks back. He has kind of a scorpion-like chain where you grab him, you pull him. And then he also has an ultimate where he basically heals himself and he pulls out this giant anchor and starts swinging away. But for those who don't know, Paladins, their Siege, which is, I think it's a lot like the original Overwatch game, where you have a point that you have to hold. And once you get 100%, this cart shows up, the payload, and then you have to basically escort the payload to the enemy's base. And you get a point for doing the objective, you get a point for escorting it all the way. You do get a point for defending it if you lose the objective the first part, but I believe if you you have to either get 100% of the objective or escort the payload all the way for the final point. You can't just defend it for your final point. But you saw there's a loadout system where you have cards. I picked those cards, legendary, which are about to become talents, where you get extra bonus damage for after you use your hook. And then also I use the item there's sort of an item system, kind of a tier type of item system. There's not very many, but I picked Master Rider so I can be faster on my mount. You'll notice when you start the game, you start off on your mount. So I got right onto the point, and that's the reason why I got the Master Rider, so I can get here quick. Luckily, I had a really good support. He's great at healing. He puts his totem down, and you have like infinite healing. So I was able to shield people while the totem was down. And the entire time we were pretty much healed up. And even though we're not getting a lot of kills here, especially like the support and me as the frontliner, we are getting all of the objective time. So I shield up. You can see we're at 80% already, and the enemy has not a percentage yet. But their flank people are doing pretty good. Like I said, it's just a matter of moving on. There's the scorpion chain. Like I said, even if you don't get the kill on that one, the whole point is to do it because you kind of do a stun. You can use it when you're off the point to pull them off the point, and you can grab them when you're on the point and just stun them for an easy kill for the rest of your teammates. I don't know really why I was chasing that Torvald. But yeah, I'm going back on the point. so we've got the payload going now. So the next basically idea is you want to try to stay as close to the payload as you can so it keeps moving towards their base. Yeah, I missed the chain. The chain's actually kind of rough to hit sometimes. It just does take some practice. It's just a matter of picking your moves. So even though I'm a tank, and I could usually tank quite a bit, you just definitely have to, sometimes you have to move away from the point, wait for maybe some of your flankers or your damage to get rid of one or two people. Yeah, and the range on that chain is not the greatest either, so that's one thing that takes the most getting used to me. Is sometimes you think you can just pull it all the way across the map, and sometimes it feels like you're doing that, but here I am again using the shield, just using that shield just to stay close. There we go, that was a good pull. I even got the kill on that one, that's just nice. But the other team, despite losing, really did a pretty good job of, there's a bunch of times where I was getting flanked. And that's one thing I like about Makoa's shield. There's a couple other people who have shields, but they're only in front of you, so if someone flanks you from behind. But you may notice that I actually didn't die this entire payload push, which is nice. So, like I said, that one was successful. Yeah. So now they sort of let you get back. Like I said, I've got all this gold accumulated because I never went back to buy anything. So I'm getting a Wrecker, which hurts against shields, and Torvald's got a really annoying shield. So, yeah, everybody's really actually pretty celebrating, and I use my little fireworks emote. So, we're just kind of doing cheeky stuff. I think they give you way too much preparation time, but even for a rank, I mean, most of us were pretty much ready to go like 10 seconds ago, so this one doesn't go as smoothly, but it's still pretty good. I think I may have even died a couple times during this push, but that's because, that's the reason why they had the prep time, is so that they can sort of figure out a strategy against. Let's see, we did pretty good. We kind of went in for the same strategy, put the totem down, use my shield to heal everybody, but I think this time I think like the Grok might have died here in a little bit. Thought I had the shield up enough time. Yeah, and that's the thing with shield, they can get, the shield basically, they can actually get inside the shield pretty easily. It gets rid of damage, it doesn't get rid of like people. So, luckily I took that Master Rider perk, so I can get back to the point pretty easily. And they are starting to build up. Like I said, the Grok's doing a great job of keeping that heal totem down. And it's just a matter of... that's the reason why we did a really good job. The Grok and Makoa combo is actually pretty unstoppable. Because both of them kind of have a similar playstyle. You just don't die. But basically, their heals just... They had a really good healer, and their heals just couldn't come close to stopping our damage. See, I'm trying to get ahead of there so they can... So, Grok get inside the shield. Thanks for the heal, Ceres. Ceres is a cool little character. If I'm forced to play support, that's usually what I play. But yeah, there's my second death. So I went in and I got my Master riding up a little bit. Yeah, just so I can get back to the payload faster. Cause I was just, we're doing so well. I wanted to get this win and have it straight shut out. This is nice to see. But you can see two of my characters had already died, and I was getting close. I put him on shield here. See, look at that. Allowed them to heal up, and then I pulled. There's a pretty good pull. But still, no one was near the payload, so it wasn't going forward. So this is why I popped my ultimates for the heal purposes, and eventually Torvald goes down. they did use Cauterize. Cauterize is an item that reduces healing. And they knew we had a Ceres, so... And then, of course, that my ultimate heals myself as well. So, yeah, pretty easy. Pretty easy victory. So that's the first one. Hope we bring Game 2 to you pretty soon. I'm looking forward to this more in this series. Kratos out.